Hello, my name is Michael O'Keefe, aka The Movie Wist. If you enjoy this interview and want to hear more top-notch film industry conversations, please press the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell to stay in the know. All right, hello Arsalan and Ida. Please tell my audience the plot of your TIFF movie, Zalava.
Hello to all of your audience and listener. I think it's better I say listener. About Zalava. Only hello, then we can talk about Zalava.
Okay.
And hello, thanks for having us. And it's good to be with you, and we are ready to talk about the film.
My pleasure. I really enjoyed the film, and I was wondering if you could explain the plot to my audience.
Plot. It's difficult. Many audience in different place, they like a part of, because film is hybrid cinema, some audience likes a part of film, and I have 2 or 3 plot. But tell you a story about the film. The film is about a village. They climb, an exorcist attacked them, and a surgeon, a genie attacked them, and a surgeon, an officer, police officer, he don't believe any gene or demon. Gene is a kind of demon, in Muslim culture. He don't believe any gene, any demon. He don't believe the metaphysics, and the challenge began between the officer police and exorcists who came to village to save the people. The challenge between exorcists and police officer makes some story, some challenge, and this is a short plot of film.
Yes, and I'm wondering why did you make the artistic decision to have the setting in 1978?
Mm-hmm. Ida should translate it. I speak Farsi. وقتی در واقع فیلم میره به گذشته، عملاً باعث میشه که ما وارد یک اتمسفر و زمانی بشیم که فیلم رو از یک حالت معاصر خارج کنه و یک حال سمبولیک بهش بده و یک فضای سمبولیستی ایجاد کنه.
I focused on the past, 1978, because I wanted to make a symbolic story, a symbolic atmosphere. Because when it happens nowadays, it has another meaning. When the story happens, for example, 44 years ago, then I can talk about symbolism.
و در واقع داستان میتونه یه مقدار جهان شمولتر باشه.
And it can be the story is kind of worldwide. It can happen anywhere in the world.
و در گذشته در واقع که این وسایل ارتباط جمعی نبود، عقاید مختلف تفاوت‌های زیادی با هم داشتن، در کنتراست قرار داشتن.
And in the past, because of the lack of social media, these kind of everyone, every group has maybe kind of completely different point of view and ideology.
Different ideology,
in comparison with other groups, So this contrast was most exaggerated comparing nowadays, because there were no media, no social media. People couldn't, talk with each other easily.
Aida, beside me, is a co-writer, and she can explain to you more than me, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are husband and wife. What's it like as spouses to write a script together?
Battle, fight, and love. This is the key of this kind of collaboration. We have many fights together, and because we worked many years together, and maybe now we can understand each other, and yeah. This kind of collaboration. And this kind of collaboration has contrast, like concept of film, fight and love, both of them.
Okay. And do you guys like movies like The Exorcist? And do you like other possession movies? What were some of the big influences cinematically?
Okay. I should tell you maybe many filmmakers, but not only filmmakers, many films affected me to this kind of point of view, but it's not clear for me which film or which filmmaker or which director, you know. But especially maybe a kind of black comedy in Coen's brothers, Amiri and Italian movie like Taviani brothers, Fellini, and some Iranian poets, you know, this kind of film, and maybe the Kurdish culture. Kurdish culture has a kind of, you know, drama, magic realism, and a kind of black comedy inside of the Kurdish lives, you know. All of them affected me to this kind of, you know, that affected me and motivated me to write this kind of story.
So you said you referred to earlier in the interview as the demons as genies. Was that what it was? Could you tell me about the demons and the beliefs of the particular demons that we see in the movie?
You know, jinn in a Muslim culture believes that genies exist and God creates a jinn like, you know, like human. And but they ingredient of fire, not hawk.
Jinns are made from fire, not from soil like humans. So we believe in Islam that like Christianity, that people, you know, human beings are made from soil, but jinns are made from fire, you know, and they are expelled from heaven. I don't know, they are expelled or not. Maybe they are not expelled, sorry. But yeah, I mean, they are not, they are made from fire, and people,
they live in another world and they don't have relation with human. But in culture, you know, in the Iranian culture, Muslim culture, Middle East culture, some people, many people, you know, say we saw a genie, for example, in midnight, in dark night, in, you know, somewhere strange, in underground places, something strange, some places is strange. We saw jinn, they climb, we saw jinn, and they scare of jinn. When we are a child, our parents maybe sometimes scared us of jinn because they want to control us, you know. Don't go out because jinn is there. Don't eat this thing, you know, because jinn is between them. You know, this is a kind of, you know, religious culture, and this religious culture comes to a national culture of many nations around the world that have the Islam religion. Maybe in Malaysia they have jinn, but a kind of jinn that mix with their culture. And Muslim, for example, in Iraq, in Saudi, they believe the jinn, some people, but a kind of jinn a bit mixed with their national, their local culture. And we have variety of jinn in the Muslims country.
Okay. Well, I like seeing horror movies from other countries, whether it's, you know, France or Italy. There's a film called Baskin from Turkey that came out recently. And so I was really excited to learn about your movie. Is there a conversation going on with other filmmakers in your country about creating more horror movies?
You know, I personally, I don't like, you know, every Iranian makes horror movie because we live in Middle East in horror situation. You know, it's enough, you know.
Okay.
Middle East, you know, by war, violence, and something like this, you know, has enough horror, and we don't need more horror film. Because of that, I control the concept of horror in the film. But just kidding. You know, many Iranian likes horror movie. When we show the film in festival, in a national festival, fashion festival in Iran, everyone likes more horror in the film. But, you know, I think we need a kind of local horror film, not Hollywood horror film, because our culture is completely different as Western culture, and we escaping some things that culture in Western culture maybe they don't escape it, and opposite, Because of that, we need a kind of local national horror, and we should, try. Many filmmakers, I think, they have enough motivation to make a kind of local horror film. And I knew a few filmmakers start to make some horror film based off our Iranian culture, Kurdish culture, or Middle East culture.
That's fantastic. I want to see more. So, did you guys have a hard time producing the movie? Were you ever stifled by censorship or anything like that?
Every Iranian filmmaker, has a kind of negotiation, conversation, sometimes, challenge with the culture organization for censor some things they are not, based on the kind of culture that government believe it, We have this kind of censorship, and for many years, we learned how to deal with this kind of censors. We negotiate sometimes, organization has enough tolerate and enough they accept negotiate, they accept conversation, and we can deal. For example, some things bad we accepted, they think something is bad in screenplay, we accept, remove this, but we try to convince them, but this part we don't remove it, and sometimes they accept, a kind of balance between filmmakers and censor organization becomes, now exists, this kind of conversation and negotiation and challenge and sometimes fight. But we have to work with this atmosphere,
The most important thing was we shouldn't disrespect Jinn in our movie, because Jinn is Muslims believe in Jinn, and it's a creature made by God. So you shouldn't disrespect Jinn. It's not like Satan.
Not respect, but they said, not disrespect.
Not disrespect. So we should be respectful to all creatures of God. And it's not like Satan, So it's like, they don't, believers think that jinns don't bother us if we don't want to meddle in their lives. We should do our life, and they do our lives, but they live simultaneously with us, with human beings. But you shouldn't want to do, to interfere in their lives. You shouldn't. There are red lines between us and them. So just keep your life and let them keep their lives too. But this was one of the things that they wanted us to be careful about it, not to disrespect jinns.
And they said it's better you don't be doubtful to existing of jinn in the film. But we try to find a way to say a story, Now everything finished, and we have permission to screen the film in the world and in the Iran, everywhere.
Well, guys, I want to thank you a lot. I learned a lot from this interview. You guys, I want to thank you for broadening my horizons and teaching me something about your culture. My last question is, before I let you go, is how do you feel that you guys are the first Iranian movie included in the Midnight Madness category at the Toronto International Film Festival?
Yeah. This is, I think, beginning of the motivation to any filmmaker in Iran to make a genre film more than now. Genre film is a kind of genre in Iran. I don't know why in history of cinema in Iran, they didn't pay attention enough to genre film. Maybe technically is a bit, expensive for making film, and for many, art house filmmaker, something like it is a bit, expensive and difficult to make genre film. But we find a way to make a genre film. And I hope this could be, open the window for Iranian filmmaker, Kurdish filmmaker, and Middle East film. I think maybe even in Middle East, in this section, you don't have many films, many genre films.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, guys, and have a great night.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.